welcome to the slowest TR4 rebuild channel. Now, the car didn't look that bad, but actually when you looked at the paintwork, there were blisters everywhere, there was paint contamination everywhere. It was on steel wheels, but you know, the decision came that we were going to start restoring it, and when you take it apart, you can find the rust everywhere and the damage. We braced the doors to stop the car folding in half, and you know that almost everybody does it that way. They drill a few, well, they use the wing bolt holes and they bolt it together. So we dropped the back axle down and out, and prepared it for taking the body shell off. So we basically put it on someone's ramps, and then we dropped the chassis away from the car, and yeah, it was great. It went quite successful. But again, the chassis has lots of damage on it. When you turn the car upside down, you see the floors disintegrating. There's a lot of undercoat that needed burning off, scraping off. Many hours went into doing that work. Body shell was put on its side and scraped, and you know, just shots of what went on. There's quite a few previous repairs. The car was initially Wedgwood blue and was repainted in Delft blue, and yeah, the dings that were in the inner wings and the car, the tail light areas had a good whack on. Almost every corner had some dents. I don't know what they did to the car before I owned it, but you can see the colour of Wedgwood blue coming through underneath. Anyway, we scraped everything we could off, and then it went off for shot blasting, or media blasting is the correct term. But you can see the multiple layers of sill repair going on there, and on the tail wing. Yeah, under the blue paint there were lots of little horror stories. Virtually every panel, every place needed repairs. Above the battery terminals there was corrosion holes. All of these little things had to be fixed. So that was just, you know, the amount of work. So basically the floors were cut out, and that's one of our problems that came in. The floor bolt holes that go onto the chassis outriggers were in the wrong place, so they had to drill their own bolt holes, and they got them in the wrong place. And in the next shot, the brackets for the boot lid were marked up. The stay that holds the boot lid up. So that's what these shots were. Then we mocked up how the TR4 was with the bonnet in its correct position, making sure it all fitted properly. We've mocked up the brake booster servo, which was too big to go in the hole, and the battery posts. There was rust holes behind each battery post, the corrosion from the battery. So all these defects and issues were sort of corrected one by one. Body shell was basically went back off to be sorted out. And make sure that, I mean, mocking up on the hardtop roof that I found, just to make sure everything measured up, making sure everything was seam sealed properly, and then, I mean, after that, later on, the tub part of the body shell went off for off to paint. The bonnet, again, more damage was sort of needed to be sorted out before badges could be put back on. But it needed to be ground down and flattened. But even just to put it in primer. But then the face has been reattached, so it's starting to look a bit more like a TR4. So this is just a record of some of the work that went on 19 years ago. The project froze because of illness. We had to move house, lost the garage, and I had to borrow other people's garages, and that's why work stopped. So this is probably the best place to end this video. I'll do another video on the work that was done to the chassis. I've got quite a few photos of that. Thanks for watching.